just open it up to the audience. I'm sure there are people who have been very intrigued with what they've heard, especially the sex bits. So if anybody wants to ask any questions, please go ahead. Do I see any hands going up? Ah, there's one there, yes. Please can we have the mic at the back there, please?
Hi, I'm just intrigued by the fact that you've chosen Jugni, you know, as the name of your female protagonist or main character, because to the best of my knowledge, Jugni is a female character in Punjabi folklore, you know, where Jugni, you know, is notorious for getting into trouble.
When she's curious, she's inquisitive. Those were the parts that I was trying to catch, really, of someone who's curious and looking around for answers. And I think it's a very sweet name because it's also the firefly. So there's this, and she's a luminous kind of character. She's sort of, she's well lit.
Okay, anybody else? There was someone else, I think. Okay, there you are.
I am Parveen Mehran. I happen to be a Jat, a Fauji, again from Rohtak by chance. And a lot of feelings for love, which we never expressed, but I believe this novel is going to do fantastic job, especially to the children who have gone all over the world. They had those feelings, they could never express it, especially in our community, they could never. And I think it will be especially to the community charts as such, and Fauji where the discipline is of the highest order. They can't even imagine. So reading it will be a great fun. I just thank you for so much effort.
Okay, any more questions from anyone? Yeah, here's one.
Hi, I'm Sunil. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm just curious, whatever I've heard you read, there's a story and there is a style, the way the whole story comes across when you read it, and perhaps when I read it, it would come across in a slightly different manner. How would this book lend itself to translation?
You know, it's almost written in Hindi, so I mean, in the sense that my own sensibility is very sort of in the middle. I write in both Hindustani and in English, though my larger pieces are in English because my Hindustani fades off after a bit. But it's not. It's in a very simple language, and that lends itself well to translation because. There are no sort of verbal gymnastics in this.
It's notes in it.
No, it's very simple. You'll say it the same way in any language because I haven't played with words. That doesn't fascinate me as much as characters and plots and feelings do.
So my question is, would you have to be the person translating it, or would somebody else be able to translate it? I mean, okay, Hindi and English one understands. So supposing you wanted to translate it into another regional language, right? How much of you is really needed for the translation to have a similar kind of an impact?
You know, I have no idea. Someone just translated some of my poetry into Telugu, but I don't read Telugu, so I have no idea how it's doing or what it looks like. And I think with translations, one can just be happy that it's reaching another language and not worry so much about. I mean, obviously the people who are translating will know their jobs, and if they don't, what can you do about it?
Anyone else? Yes. Can you get the mic?
I was quite fascinated by this journey of the bull. You know, it's a huge cross-country thing, and you did choose Bhutan. I'd like to know more about that.
Well, there was an engagement in 1864 in which the 14th Lancers, which was a heavily charged regiment, was involved. So I just picked that. I mean, most of the incidents in the book, I would say about 100% of the incidents in this book actually happened, but they're not. There's not a lot of historical detail. I mean, you're told of it only as Naib Singh's life or what happened to him. I haven't actually describe the engagement of 1864 in Bhutan, but it's an actual historical event. It took place. So, and that's how all of history has been treated in this book, that it's only played out through the lives of the characters. It hasn't been given any special chunks of description or sort of elucidation or anything. It just happens. Whatever happens, happens to the characters. But they just happen to be living out the history of a people. So.
Anyone else? Yes, there you are. That lady there.
I wanted to ask you how long did it take you to write the book, and as a writer, what were the moments which were the hardest to write? Where did you feel that you were faltering the most, or it was difficult?
It didn't take very long. It took well under a year. And that's because I kept kidding myself. I kept telling myself, you're only writing a short story, now make it a little longer, you know. And because I had one experience of trying to write a novel and being overwhelmed by the complexity of what I was trying to do. So this didn't take very long. And also I didn't really falter because I've been very crafty in this one. I sort of put the elements of a novel. I said, okay, I want conflict, I'll do this. Okay, I want the chapters to move. So it's very invisible, but there's a lot of architecture in this book. There's a lot of carpentry in the book. The structure of the book is very tight. And then the story just flows because you're not getting stuck on any of the plot points. Or you've sort of... I've made lots of mistakes and I've got stuck over lots of writing, but not in this one. This one you'll find an easy flow because I thought it through and then I sat and wrote it down.
What's the favorite moment?
The favorite moment in the book? That's a tough one because you haven't read it.
Now tell us, the ones we're going to read it now.
Don't give away the plot.
Yeah, just the favorite moments.
That's a really tough one because I don't know. There's so many moments I like in it, but mostly. Sorry?
Sorry, I should tell them to buy it.
That they'll do anyway. They can't after this reading.
Yeah.
But there are lots of moments. There are lots of moments.
It has to be Raka riding on his feet.
Oh. The Amir Khan moment.
The Amir Khan moment.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, there are lots of sort of sweet, tender moments in the book. They're kind of I like those. I like the girl meets boy in the field moments very much.
Sounds good. Okay. Any more questions that we have? No?
I'll make the sign now.
Okay, you make the sign now.
Yeah.
I just have one last question, really. How do your family receive it? I mean, what are their thoughts of the book? Have they all read it? You've got two boys.
I have two boys. One of whom has been very kind and he's read it, but the rest of the family.
Put your hand up. Who's the one who's read it? Oh, there he is. Okay.
And he said it's
all
okay.
proud of her. We're all proud of her.
Very, very
All
proud
the
of her.
families stand up.
So how many of you read it?
You're gonna buy it. Can you imagine that?
Right, sorry?
I've been holding it very close. I haven't actually been giving it to family to read.
Your husband's read it?
No, he hasn't.
He's in for a surprise. Where are you, Raka?
He didn't want to cramp my style.
Right. Okay. But it's been lovely talking to you.
Thank you so much.
And I hope you do enjoy the book as much as I did. Because the style of writing, as she said, the plot, which is very, very well plotted. And now we're going to wait for the next one. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.